Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. And today I've got something different, out of the ordinary for me, but very cool, and I think you guys might like it. So recently, a subscriber, and we'll just go by Steven, reached out and said, hey, I've got a couple catalogs from, way back when. If you'd like to have them on the channel and go through them and look at them and reminisce, I'd be more than happy to send them to you. So these are going back to Steven. He didn't send them to me to keep. He just sent them to me to share with everybody else. So thank you very much, Steven. I appreciate that. And I'm sure there's a lot of folks out here that, are going to be entertained by stepping back into 1986. Well, 85, 89, and 86. So one of the things he sent was a 1985 Tower Hobbies catalog. So anybody in the United States back in the 80s and probably most of the 90s, if you were in RC, you probably had one or two or 20 of these things kicking around the house. At one point, I think I had a stack about this high of these things, because if you ordered something from them, from the catalog, they sent you the new catalog. And then they would basically update it usually quarterly. So you would get, a fall, a spring, a fall, a winter, a spring, a summer catalog. And then if you ordered something within those four, quarters, you would also get, another spring catalog. So I had a mountain of these things at one time, and I just said, why am I going to keep those? And threw them all away. Thankfully, Steven did not. And sent these over to me. So I'm going to talk about it. I will show pictures as we go through, and I'm not going to go through the whole catalog. It's going to be ridiculous. But one of the things I thought was cool was some of these cars are clearly Kyosho, like the Kyosho Wildcat. If you look at it, this is the Tower Hobbies Circuit 10 Wildcat Buggy. No, that's the Kyosho. So it looked like they renamed everything and didn't carry the true manufacturer's name on there. And we'll see this throughout the catalog. But, this thing was 130 bucks. Now, granted, that was 130 bucks in 1985 money, which is vastly different than 130 bucks now. But, that's just freaking crazy to think you get 130 bucks for a gas-powered, two-wheel drive dune buggy with aluminum parts and all that stuff on there. Crazy, crazy, crazy. One of the other things was, if you guys watch Keith's channel, and I'm assuming most of you do, but if you don't, go over and subscribe to RC Icons. He has some crazy cool builds, and I believe this is an identical truck that he just did. This was the Kyosho Chevy 4x4 pickup. I don't remember if it was a 4x4. I don't know. This was either a two-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive, but it looks identical, and he just built one of these on his channel, and, his is a retro vintage channel, so it was kind of cool seeing that. You can pick that up here and here for 150 bucks. Next, we've got, some really cool old nitro engines. Now, obviously, these are for gas planes or nitro planes, whatever. But, what caught my eye on this page was the dual single motor. I've never seen one like that. So it has a single intake, but it's dual piston, and shares looks like a common crankshaft. I don't remember ever seeing one of those, so I don't know whether that was just kind of a one-off thing that they tried, but it looks cool. I don't know how well it worked. I'm sure balancing that was a nightmare. This one made me laugh. This is the Welcome to Tower Hobbies. Take the Tower Tour. And it goes through all of their, areas of what they do. The data processing one is hilarious. It's a data processing center. It's the size of a small car. Probably cost them a buttload of money. And this thing right here probably outpowers it twice over. 10 times over, I'm sure. But yeah, that would just amuse me. And then, of course, the awesome 80s hairstyles and dress. All right, what else we got? Okay, so this one coming back here. I took a picture of the AYK Baja Bison. So again, if you watch RC Icons or Keith, he's got a few AYKs on there, and I'm sure he would have loved to have paid only $139.99 for an AYK Bison. So moving on, we go to the Cox kits, which oddly identical to Kyosho kits, because they are. They got a Cox Tomahawk, a Cox Scorpion, and a Cox Beetle, and other than the decals on them, that it's a Tomahawk and a Scorpion and a Beetle. So that's kind of, stuff like that is, stuff I wish I had bought. A tomahawk. I mean, I've got one behind me somewhere over there. And, you can still buy those today in the re-release kits. Good luck finding a Cox tomahawk. If you do, you're going to have to pay out the nose for it. And then on this page, we get into Tamiya MRC. Because there's not a single thing sold by Tamiya in this catalog that I've seen. But there's an awful lot of cars by MRC. So, you've got the Frog, the Wild Willie, the Willie's Wheeler. Wild Willie was $125. Willie's Wheeler was $131. You can't get a run over one for $125 nowadays. I got the Super Champ, the original one, $165. That was actually getting kind of pricey. And the next one we look at is, so we also have the MRC, the Pajero. That was an actually inexpensive kit. So another one I took a picture of, and I took a picture of this for a reason. One, this is a sought after kit. Everybody wants one. The Blazing Blazer. Wow, $356 back in 1985 dollar reduce. That was pricey. So even back then, that was a very expensive kit. So I can imagine why. I can understand now why they're so expensive, because they were probably fairly rare. I don't think they sold too many $365 kits. This one now, just in comparison, this is a Futaba Magnum Sport, so this one came out a little bit afterwards. So in this, they have basically the Magnum Junior. So $135 or $145. We should have kept all those. That's crazy to think that radios were that expensive. $145 now, you're getting the 20 model memory and, gyros on board and everything. And this was just, left, right, go and stop and reverse. But there is so much stuff in this book. Glow plugs and tools and parts and pieces. There's a whole slew of airplanes, kits, helicopters, motors, engines, everything in here. It's crazy the stuff that they have in here, and just looking back at the prices was ridiculous. So this he also sent, and this is a little worse for the wear. This one's been looked through a lot. So this is a 1989 MRC. Tamiya catalog. So this was still back when they were basically sharing names. I'm assuming MRC was the U.S. side and Tamiya was, everywhere else. But, I just took random pictures through this. I'm not going to flip through this one a ton. So what I'll do is I will put up pictures at the end of this because, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Everything in here looks amazing. When they do their catalogs, they do them right, and they have really skilled people putting them together, finishing them off, and taking pictures of them. And, back in '89, they were still doing awesome jobs of it. And I'm just going to leave you guys at the end with a little bit of a montage of photos through it. There's cars, trucks, tanks, models, everything in there. There's a whole bunch of stuff in that catalog. It's really, really cool, but it is a little coming apart. So I've flipped through it. I've enjoyed it. I don't want to, keep holding it up and rip something. So this one he sent along. I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys just because I thought it was interesting. So this is 32nd Parallel. It's a boat modeling company. And it looked like they strictly kind of went with submarines. The catalog isn't that flashy. I'll put up some pictures as we go through it. They got a German U-boat, the Gato Baleo. Please don't get on me for butchering the name, but it's the Gato Baleo U.S. Fleet submarine. So that one caught my eye. These models were ginormous. So this is 1/32 scale. So what they're saying is 3/8 of an inch equals 1 foot. And the total overall length of this model was 9 foot 9 inches. You couldn't even get that in the back of a pickup truck. That thing is enormous. And it has, valving and ballast tank and all this stuff. So you could actually go out there and dive this thing. And it's just crazy. So this is the one cool, color picture on the inside. Looks like it's in a swimming pool somewhere. So I'm sure that's where most of these were done. So they've got different things in here, top water boats. They have a German hydrofoil in here. But the one thing that caught my eye was this one actually has the pricing sheet. And this is the 32nd Parallel price list for December 22nd, 1986. So if you wanted to get that Gato Baleo submarine, and you went in and you got everything for it. So you got the whole kit, the hardware kit, the prefabricated control surfaces, everything. You got all of that in a package deal. You would end up paying $1,200, and that's not including the shipping. That's the price of the thing. $1,200. And these are $1986. This would be like a $10,000 freaking model. That's just crazy to me. So the hydrofoil was a steal. That was a $416 value that you get for $395. That is crazy town. So, he indicated 32nd parallel appears to no longer be in business. I don't know why. I'm sure they made some really excellent models, but I don't know how you could expect to be in business too long for back in the 80s having $1,200 models. But anyway, I'm going to leave you guys off with a little photo montage of the stuff from the Tamiya MRC catalog. And I hope everybody enjoyed this. It's something a little bit different. And, I have thoroughly enjoyed flipping through these. I wish I could, give you guys a page by page, but we'd be here for 3 days. Anyway, Stephen, I appreciate you sending this over. I really enjoyed looking through these. I will get them back in the mail to you shortly and get these out. Everybody else out there, have a wonderful day. Everybody be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. See you.